Welcome to India, a country located in Southeast Asia. It is the second most populous country in the world with over 1.2 billion people. India is also home to four major religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism, which all originated in India. In 1946, after a series of struggle, India finally became a free state, separating itself from Great Britain. Following India's independence in 1946, President of the United States Harry Truman signed a bill called the Luce-Celler Act. The Luce-Celler Act was a bill that made it so that people from India and the Philippines could immigrate to the United States. The bill specifically stated, quote, to authorize the admission into the United States of persons of races indigenous to India and persons of races indigenous to the Philippine Islands to make them racially eligible for naturalization and for other purposes. This bill allowed 100 Filipino and 100 Indian immigrants to come to America each year. In 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson passed another Immigration and Nationality Act. This Immigration and Nationality Act was to take away the National Origins Act that had been in place since 1924. The quotas had been eliminated, and therefore immigrants could come to the country as they pleased. This was replaced by a visa system that allowed immigrants to come to the country based on work needs and work skills. This was the main period of immigration for many Indian immigrants between 1965 and the present. Many of the Indians who came to the United States were already educated and already had jobs. But when they came to the United States, they looked to further their education and find better jobs and set goals for their kids as well as themselves. The first wave of Indian immigrants was mostly migrant farm workers who worked in Southern California in the fields. Indian immigrants have had an incredibly positive effect on American culture by being the most educated and most driven immigrant group that has come to the country. Indian immigrants have been shown to have higher education percentages than other immigrants. These immigrants come not only to work, but to also better their education and create a better life for themselves and for their kids. They did this by finding jobs as scientists and as doctors, and also working incredibly hard to get where they are. Of immigrants, Indians have also been shown to have the most income per year as of 2009. In 1970, the L visa was created by Congress to make it easier for large international companies to transfer workers to the United States. In 1976, the United States Department of State came out with a certain type of visa created specifically for students and for skilled workers. The two visas that are mainly used for Indian immigration are the H-1B and the H-2B visas. There are approximately 65,000 of each visa given out every year. The H-1B visa is a visa that allows individuals to come to the United States to work specialty jobs that they have already been trained in. While in the U.S., immigrants may apply for a green card and continue going to U.S. schools. The H-2B visa is targeted for all other work other than agricultural work. Another form of the H-1B visa, it is also temporary, and immigrants may stay into the United States for up to 6 years. This is the type of immigration that the United States would like to see continue for the future. Indian immigrants have not faced a lot of problems once they have gotten to America. Most either already have a job or are already very well educated. Some immigrants have been forced to deal with racism by bigoted people, but racism towards Indian people is not very widespread in America. This is Sanjay Gupta. Mr. Gupta is currently the Emmy Award-winning chief medical correspondent for CNN. He was born in the town of Novi, Michigan, to parents who emigrated from India to Detroit to work for the Ford Motors Company. His mother was the first woman to actually work in the Ford Motors plant in Dearborn, Michigan. Mr. Gupta received his Bachelor in Science from the University of Michigan and continued medical school also at the University of Michigan to earn his MD. He completed his residency in the Michigan Health System in neuroscience and has continued to work as a neurosurgeon since 1993. Mr. Gupta is a very inspirational person and a great role model who has helped with working with tsunami, hurricane, and tornado victims. Mr. Gupta now has his own page on CNN.com and also has his own weekly TV show titled Sanjay Gupta MD. This is Kalpana Chawla, who is an Indian-American astronaut who lost her life during the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. Miss Chawla was born in India in 1961 and moved to America in 1982 to continue her education in aerospace engineering from the University of Texas at Arlington. Chawla also graduated with a PhD from the University of Colorado Boulder in aerospace engineering in 1998. Chawla held a license in gliders, airplanes, and a commercial pilot's license when she joined NASA's astronaut corps in 1995. She was selected for her first mission in 1996, where she was responsible for the deployment of the Spartan satellite. In 2000, Miss Chawla was selected for her second trip to space on board the Columbia. She was part of the crew who met a tragic end when the shuttle was incinerated during re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. Chawla was the first Indian American woman to ever be in space. This is Kamala Devi Harris, who is currently the 32nd Attorney General of California. Harris was born in 1964 to a Tamil mother who emigrated to the United States in 1960 to pursue her career as a doctor. Harris grew up in a home that valued Hindu teaching strongly. Harris attended Howard University and continued to earn her Juris Doctor from the University of California at Hastings in 1989. From 1990 until 1998, Harris served as the Deputy District Attorney of California and was named by the LA Journal one of the top 100 lawyers in California. In 2003, Harris was elected District Attorney at San Francisco, and she was re-elected again in 2007. In 2010, she received the Democratic Party's nomination for California Attorney General, where she has served since. Ms. Harris was the first female Attorney General of California and the first Asian American Attorney General of California. She was also the first Indian American Attorney General in the United States. The 2010 census showed that the most Indian American populated cities in America are New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. Indian immigrants migrate and continue to migrate to areas with other Indian immigrants, areas with jobs, and areas with education.